Yo, yo, yo. What's the deal? 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 What is the deal? Man, make sure you hit that like button now. Come on. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that like button now. What's good with you? What's good with you? Let some of y'all get through here real quick. Make sure you hit that like button when you come through here. What's good, Mayo? What's good with you? What's good with you? Some of y'all get through here real quick and we get to talk about these good old playoffs. Playoffs? The playoffs? Yes, the playoffs. Yes, the playoffs. We're going to get into it though. Let some of y'all get in here real quick before we get started. What's good with you? What's good with you? Some of y'all get up in here real quick. Real quickly, quick. See y'all starting to fall through? Yeah, Texas winning it all already. What's good, Caleb? What's good, Stone Cold? What's good with y'all? So, we already know, man, the playoff board has been set. Both AFC, NFC. The playoffs has been set. We already know what it is. The Baltimore Ravens got the number one pick. They got a bye week this week. Number one seed. Baltimore Ravens got the number one seed and got a bye week this week. The Buffalo Bills then jumped all the way up and got the 2 seed. They gonna host a playoff game. They won the AFC East. Kansas City Chiefs, they won the AFC West. They had 3 seed. The Houston Texans, you already know what it is. Won the AFC South like they're supposed to. We the 4 seed. Cleveland Browns, the first wild card, the 5 seed. Miami falls all the way to the 6 seed in the second wild card. And the last team in the playoffs on the AFC is Pittsburgh. Then on the NFC side, we got the San Francisco 49ers having the number 1 seed. They got a bye week. We got the Dallas Cowboys, won the NFC East. They the number 2 seed. Detroit won the NFC North. They the 3 seed. Tampa Bay won the NFC South. They the 4 seed. The Philadelphia Eagles, they the first wild card team at the 5 seed. The LA Rams are the second wild card team at the 6 seed. And the Green Bay Packers are the last team in the playoffs in the NFC on the NFC side of the board as the 7 seed. So those are the standings. Those are how it goes. We all know that the Houston Texans, us and the Cleveland Browns, we kick off the first playoffs. We kick off the playoffs on Saturday on NBC at 3:30. I'm going to get into that game in a minute because that game I got a little bit straight to the side because obviously it's us and I do more videos than that. But also, I want to do a whole situation and just look at the playoffs and give you guys my predictions of what I think is going to happen this upcoming playoffs because it might be different with some other people. And the thing is, what benefits and what goes good and what actually helps out the Texans. And also I'm going to exactly what can happen versus different type of matchups. Because people have been asking me, hey, so who, if the Texans beat Cleveland, who will they face next? It can go out in a whole different multitude of ways. But also speaking on going a whole bunch of multitude of ways, and make sure you hit that like button. I see more people than jumped in here, but likes ain't going on, man. Hey, make sure you hit that like button now. Come on, man. Make sure you hit that like button when y'all come through here. So, like I say, man, the Houston Texans, Cleveland Browns, first game first game of the wild card weekend on Saturday, NBC. Glad we didn't get the Peacock game. Our game is going to be on NBC. And for people who out there live in the Houston area, even if we would have gotten the Peacock game, even because they got a game that they're only streaming on Peacock this year. That game is only it's not going to be on no cable network. It's only going to be on Peacock, and you have to have a subscription to Peacock to watch it. Even if the Texans would have been on that game, even if the Houston Texans would have had that game, the Houston Texans, because they have a local media market, the Houston Texans game, from a local standpoint, so if you in the Houston area, like if you live in Houston or in the greater Houston area, you'll still been able to watch them because they would have been broadcast on a local network. If it would have been NBC, if it would have been Channel 13, like their preseason games be on. If it had been Channel 2, it's NBC, Channel 2 is NBC, but KHOU or Fox, they would have had to put it on a local network. More than likely, it would have been on Channel 13 because that's the network that their preseason games be on, so it might have been more likely on there. But then again, because if I'm not mistaken, Peacock and NBC are affiliated, so I think it probably still would end up being on NBC regardless. But so if you live in the Houston area, you're gonna watch it regardless. Anybody who lives out in the Houston area, 'cause I know it is some Texan fans that don't live in the Houston area and don't even live in the state of Texas. Don't worry, you will be able to watch the Houston Texans because it's on NBC. They weren't gonna put the Texans and the Cleveland Browns on that game. They wasn't gonna do that. They wasn't gonna do that because they need people to stream that game. That's the reason why the Kansas City, the Kansas City and Miami Dolphins was the biggest no brainer. Obviously Dallas and Green Bay, because that's another game, because those are probably one of the two biggest markets in the NFL is Dallas and Green Bay. But Jerry Jones wasn't going to allow that to happen, and his team is only going to be on Peacock. So that's why that one was out of the question. So the NFL knew what they were doing because they weren't going to put Buffalo in. I mean, Buffalo and Pittsburgh, I guess, would have been right. But if they would put the Texans and the Cleveland Browns outside Texas and Brown fans, nobody wouldn't watch that game. If you want to be completely honest, to the point that you have to pay a subscription service to get it. Now, if it's for free, that's different. But to pay a subscription service to get it, they weren't about to do that. They weren't about to do that at all. So, but again, the Houston Texans play the Houston Texans annual in the playoffs. We always play and kick off the playoffs. We always kick off the playoffs in the first first playoff game of the season ever since 2011. Like we've only been to the NFL. We only been to the playoffs as the AFC South champions, and we always have the very first playoff game. No matter if it was on NBC back in 2011 and 2012, no matter if it was on ESPN, like it's been for the past couple of years up until recently, like it's been on ESPN. The ESPN broadcast in 14 and 16 and 18 and 19. So all those other years has been on ESPN. Now we get to go back on NBC. So I think it's going to be a good matchup. But the next game, the Saturday night game, the game is only going to be on Peacock. Kansas City Chiefs. Miami's going to Kansas City 7 o'clock on Peacock on Saturday night. I think Miami's going to win this game. I think it's supposed to be like negative 10 degrees, negative 9 degrees, negative 10 degrees, something like that. I think that Kansas City's going to win this game. I mean, not Kansas City. I think Miami's going to win this game. I do. I've been saying it all season, all summer, that I felt like Kansas City, whoever they played, was probably going to end up losing their first game because I just felt like eventually they're going to lose. Like eventually they're not going to go. I mean, Patrick Mahomes has never played a role playoff game, and he's never played a role playoff game. He's never not played in the AFC Championship game. He's been in the playoffs 5 times, and all 5 times he's played in the AFC Championship game. I think that's going to come to an end this year, and I think they're going to lose. I got Miami winning 20-17. Do I think that Miami's a better team than Kansas City? I think they're about even, honestly. Because even though Kansas City is very vulnerable this year. I still think Miami's too inconsistent. But I'm gonna just say I got Miami winning that game 20-17. The next game that's gonna be played is Pittsburgh going to Buffalo Sunday on CBS at 12 o'clock. The noon o'clock game, just a regular game, like a regular game that you tune on to a Sunday. I think it's probably going to be like the biggest lopsided game of the playoffs, especially in the wild card round. I got Buffalo winning 27-10. I just don't think Pittsburgh's that good of a team. So, and they really just lucky that teams like Broncos took out Russell Wilson towards the stretch, and also that Joe Burrow got hurt. They're really more fortunate that Joe Burrow got hurt, and the Bengals, who was coming on late, even Will Browning was coming on late, but Joe Burrow got hurt, kind of just completely derailed what the Bengals were going to do. Even though the Bengals did win some games late, but I think who they lose to? Before they lost to Kansas City, they lost to somebody else before they lost to Kansas City that really basically put to their season that they wasn't going to win. Was it Pittsburgh? I think it was them losing to Pittsburgh. So either losing to Pittsburgh or them losing to the Colts. They lost to somebody. So I think the Bills is going to win 27-10. Then the next game is the Dallas Cowboys. The Green Bay Packers going to Dallas on Fox Sunday at 3:30. A lot of people been saying this, and I actually agree. I think this is probably Dallas's best shot in a long time to make it to an NFC Championship game because I think they have a legitimate team. I was saying that going into the season because I thought their defense was one of the best, if not the best defense going into the league. Going into the season, their defense kind of fell off a little bit. It wasn't playing to the level that we expected them to play. But Dak Prescott is playing out of his mind this year, and definitely should be a finalist for the MVP. So, but I think Dallas is going to beat Green Bay and Jordan Love's first playoff game, Green Bay Packers' first playoff game without Aaron Rodgers. Like I said, Jordan Love's very first playoff game. Period. I think the Dallas Cowboys are going to win 31-21. Then the next game is the Sunday night game, and it's the LA Rams going to Detroit. Matt Stafford going back home to the team that drafted him, the team he played the majority of his career with. And then also same thing with Jared Goff. Jared Goff gets to play against his old team, the team that really got rid of him. Because people keep saying it's a Stafford revenge game. Stafford doesn't have any revenge. The Detroit Lions did Stafford a solid. They paid Stafford a whole bunch of money, and they also sent him to a team for him to actually have a legitimate playoff shot and to win the Super Bowl with. And he did that. Went to the playoffs and won the Super Bowl because in Detroit he was 0-2 in the playoffs. He sent them there. Well, the best head coach he's ever had. From a complete team standpoint, the best team he's ever had, and he was able to win the Super Bowl with. So it's not a revenge game for Stafford. It's a revenge game for Detroit. And a revenge game mostly for Jared Goff, a team that drafted you number 1 overall, that you took to a Super Bowl, even though I think I would like to say that you kind of really just rolled a wave. And they gave up on you because Detroit didn't give up on Matt Stafford. They were trying to do Matt Stafford a solid because they really love Matt Stafford a lot. I've heard a lot of people in Detroit say that they were selling like Matt Stafford t-shirts and Rams Super Bowl shirts and stuff like that with Matt Stafford on it when Matt Stafford won Super Bowl because they really genuinely love Matt Stafford out there in Detroit. So it's not a revenge game to Matt Stafford. It's a revenge game for Jared Goff and the Detroit organization saying we had to get rid of you to bolster up our team, to make our team completely better than we see what it is. And I think the Lions are going to win. I think it's going to be a close game. I think it's going to be a close, good game. But I think Detroit's going to prevail and win 21-20. I think Detroit's going to win and prevail and win 21-20. Then you got the Monday night game. Monday on NBC on ABC. You have Tampa Bay. You had the Philadelphia Eagles going to Tampa Bay. This one is more so, I ain't gonna lie to you, I ain't gonna fake it. This one to me is more so what I want to happen, what I really want to happen. Like mostly out of all of them, like it's more so wishful thinking. But I'm gonna just ride with it anyway. I got Tampa Bay winning 24-17. I got Tampa Bay winning 24-17. I really want Baker to go out there and win a playoff game. He's won a playoff game in Cleveland. Remember, he ended Cleveland's streak. Cleveland has not won a playoff game, I think, since like 95 before Baker got there, and then Baker won back in 2020. That was the first playoff game that they won since 95. And then they got rid of him for Deshaun Watson. They traded all those draft picks, paid all that money for Deshaun Watson, and they assumed Baker Mayfield, kind of like the Detroit Lions, but kind of like the Rams did for Jared Goff. So I definitely want him to go out there and win a playoff game, especially if the Texans, we take care of our business on Saturday, and then Cleveland could not have a playoff win, and Baker Mayfield will go out there and win a playoff game. So that's the reason why I'm really hoping that Baker Mayfield goes out there and win a game. He also, even though he graduated or at the very least won the Heisman with Oklahoma, he's still a Texas Tech quarterback. So I'm a ride for Baker, and hopefully Baker wins. So I got Tampa Bay winning that game 24-17. Now, you notice I didn't have a prediction for the very first playoff game. I'm gonna hold off on that one. I'm gonna hold off on that one just a little bit. But the Houston Texans versus Cleveland Browns, we know it's the first playoff game. That's a game that everybody really want to talk about, and people want to know exactly what will happen if the Houston Texans go out there and beat Cleveland. where would they go? What would they do? The Texans have an opportunity to face anybody in the AFC except the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Pittsburgh Steelers is the only team in the AFC. The Houston Texans are guaranteed not to play they're guaranteed not to play the Pittsburgh Steelers into the AFC Championship game. They would not play. Obviously, they're not playing the Pittsburgh Steelers in this round, and they would not play the Pittsburgh Steelers in the divisional round, even if Pittsburgh wins. They would. That's the one team they're guaranteed not to play. That they can play everybody else. They can play Buffalo. Well, we could go to Baltimore. We can go to Buffalo. We can go to Kansas City, and Miami can come to us in the divisional round. All those things open the table. And the way that works is if Houston wins, Kansas City wins, and Buffalo wins, the Texans are the 4th seed. The Texans go to number 1 seed Baltimore because they were the lowest seed. Number 1 seed faces the lowest seed automatically. So if the Texans are the lowest seed, which means Kansas City and Buffalo wins and we win, we will go to Baltimore to face the Baltimore Ravens, and Kansas City will go to Buffalo in the in the divisional round. If the way I have it, Miami winning and Miami winning and Buffalo winning, the Texans will go to Buffalo because Miami is the 6th seed. Miami will be the lowest seed. Miami will go to Baltimore, and the Houston Texans will go to Buffalo. If both Pittsburgh and Miami both win, if both Pittsburgh and Miami both win, the Houston Texans will host the Miami Dolphins. So if Miami and Pittsburgh win, the Houston Texans host the Miami Dolphins. If Kansas City and Buffalo win, the Houston Texans go to Baltimore. If Miami wins and Buffalo wins, the Houston Texans go to Buffalo. If Pittsburgh wins and Kansas City wins, the Houston Texans go to Kansas City. Because Houston Texans would be the 3 seed, Pittsburgh is the 1 seed. Pittsburgh, if Pittsburgh wins, they automatically go into Baltimore. If Pittsburgh wins, they automatically go into Baltimore. That's the only thing that said. If Pittsburgh wins, they automatically go into Baltimore. And again, they're going to be the last AFC team playing because, again, both the Texans, Browns, Chiefs, and Dolphins are all on one day. They're all on Saturday. So we'll know exactly where that's leaning towards, and people will be watching that Buffalo-Pittsburgh game to see exactly who's going where. So the playoff thing will be set after the Pittsburgh game. After Pittsburgh, we will know exactly what the division round looks like for the AFC. We would know exactly what the AFC round looks like in the AFC. So again, that's the Houston Texans. Again, we face the Cleveland Browns this Saturday, and if we win, it depends on what happens with the two games, the game directly after us, and also what happens the first game on Sunday. What Houston Texans will face. Like I said, we can go to Baltimore, we can go to Baltimore, to Kansas City, to Buffalo, home against Miami. Y'all already know what I'm leaning towards. Y'all already know what I want. I've been saying this since I've been saying this. I want as many games as possible at home. So give me, the Texans win on Saturday. I'm rooting for the Miami Dolphins and I'm rooting for the Pittsburgh Steelers because that way the Miami Dolphins are coming to Houston. Again, I understand their speed, but I'm not completely just shooken up about the Miami Dolphins into a tunnel below, especially at NRG Stadium. And again, I want as many opportunities because, like I said, right now, Miami's going to be going to a game. They're going to be playing in -9 degrees, -9, -10 degrees. I don't want none of that smoke. It's not even the teams because I do feel like this year, and Broderick has said this best, and I have to give Broderick credit where credit's due because Broderick been saying this best, and I actually agree with him that this year in the AFC is completely wide open. This might be the most wide open AFC that we've seen in recent memory, and to be honest, it might be. Yeah. This is the most wide open AFC, at least since the Texans have been a franchise since 2002. Because even in the 2000s, you had 3 dominant forces: Tom Brady and the Patriots, Peyton Manning and the Indianapolis Colts, and then Ben Roethlisberger and the Pittsburgh Steelers. And then in the 20 teens, You had Peyton Manning with the Broncos, and what's his name? And Tom Brady with the you had Tom Brady with the Patriots, and then in the 2020s, you've had in the short stint in the 2020s, you've had you've had Patrick Mahomes and Kansas City Chiefs, Lamar Jackson and the Ravens, and the Buffalo Bills with Josh Allen. I know what you're saying. Well, ain't Patrick Mahomes, ain't Josh Allen, ain't Lamar Jackson in this playoffs. They are. They are in this playoffs. But this team, but all their teams, this go around seem more flawed than recent teams. Even though this is high seed that Buffalo's ever been, I don't think Buffalo's ever been the number 2 seed. If I'm not mistaken, I don't feel like Buffalo's ever come to the playoffs as the number 2 seed. Now, I do think that this Buffalo team is better than the Buffalo team that the Texans beat in 2019 when Josh Allen, I think, was in his second year. But once he's gotten Stephon Diggs, Josh Allen's been a different animal. But this year in itself, Josh Allen, even though I think that Josh Allen really should be in the MVP conversation, but his turnovers, as was heard them, his turnovers have been way more glaring this year than they've been really in recent memory outside of his rookie year and the second year. Once he got Brian Daboll, once Brian Daboll became the offensive coordinator in Buffalo, he turned those turnovers around, and you was getting the maximum, you getting the best out of Josh Allen up until this season right here. When we see this season right here, Josh Allen's been turning the football over a lot. And the thing is, Josh Allen really hasn't been playing all that well, especially in the last couple games. The big game that they blew out, the big game that they blew out Dallas, it was because of Cook. It was. I think Josh Allen had like 91 yards in that game. And then if you go back and watch that game Sunday night against the Dolphins and the Dolphins and the Bills, Josh Allen didn't play well in that game. And Josh Allen, again, if I was a Bills fan, Josh Allen would extremely frustrate me because he can make exciting plays, but it's a lot of times Josh Allen got you like, what are you doing? Like, it's a lot of times that Josh Allen really got you like it's a lot of times that Josh Allen push you in that type of mind frame. So I'm not Josh Allen. This version of Josh Allen is not Josh Allen at his peak powers. Same thing with Mahomes. Mahomes don't really have the outside Kelsey. Mahomes doesn't have any weapons. If you look at Kelsey hasn't been playing up to the standard that we've been used to Travis Kelsey playing either. And another thing about that as well is that even though he hasn't been playing at the level, you got receivers stepping off sides. You got receivers dropping catches. And then Mahomes is not getting away with the Mahomes magic that he normally gets away with. Him running around and doing all type of stuff and throwing off his back foot and just throwing ill-advised passes. He's getting his comeuppance when it comes to that. Because now they're turning into interceptions. Now they're bad, horrific incompletions. They're not just, Mahomes done pulled a rabbit out. No, it ain't Mahomes. Mahomes ain't pulling rabbits out of hats right now. Mahomes is turning the football over and he's not playing. It makes it look like he's not playing well because he's been doing what he's always done. He just doesn't have anybody to help him out and bail him out in certain situations. I don't want to use the word bailout because it's not really a bailout. He just don't have his guys like a Tyreek Hill or Kelsey, for that matter, not playing up to the level that they normally play. And obviously Tyreek Hill is playing for the Miami Dolphins. He doesn't have that same type of help that he was having in years past. And then Lamar Jackson still, even though he's probably going to win the second MVP, Lamar Jackson still have yet to clear those playoff woes just yet. I know he's won a playoff game. I think he beat the Titans. Beat Mike Vrabel in the playoff game a couple years ago, and that's his only playoff win. The year after he won the MVP, the following year he ended up beating Vrabel, if I'm not mistaken, in the wild card round. Other than that, it's not the same because Brady in New England was always Brady in New England. Like, it was always. It's going to be hard pressed to walk up beside Foxborough and win. I know they lost. I know they lost to what's his name? Can't think of his name. Mark Sanchez. I know he lost to Mark Sanchez and the Jets. I'm trying to think. Outside of that, was Tom Brady really losing home playoff games? I know some of their losses were on the road in the playoffs, outside of Super Bowl losses. I think he lost to Flacco. I think he lost to Flacco in the playoffs too. I think he lost to Flacco in the playoffs too. I know his very last game in New England as a Patriot was he lost to Mike Vrabel and the Titans in 2019. So never mind. So he has lost some home playoff games, but I just know that it was hard pressed. I don't think Peyton ever beat him at home. I think anytime Peyton has beaten Tom Brady was inside wherever Peyton was home at, if it was in Denver or if it was in Indianapolis. So, but again, this like I said, this version of the AFC is more wide open than it's ever been. And like I said, especially in recent memory, but I'm thinking probably since 2000. Like since 2000, I feel like this is more because we've always seen because always the same cast of characters: Tom Brady, Tom Brady and the Patriots, Pittsburgh Steelers, and Ben Roethlisberger, Peyton Manning, and wherever team you with, the Indianapolis Colts or the Denver Broncos. However you go, he went to 2 Super Bowls as the Broncos. So and then also in that span, Tom Brady went to 3 as a Patriot in that junction. He beat Seattle, beat Atlanta, lost to Philly, and beat the Rams in the 2010s. Like that's 4 in itself right there. And like I said, I know that in 2 more you got Peyton Manning winning the Super Bowl and also Peyton Manning losing the Super Bowl. So that's 6 Super Bowls right there. In that span, I know Joe Flacco in that span won a Super Bowl in 2012. 2012, yeah, he won a Super Bowl in 2012. Oh, and Tom Brady lost one in 2011. So that's 7. That's 7 in a 10-year span between Tom Brady and Peyton Manning from 2011. The 2000 from 2011 to 2018. That's crazy. That's crazy. In that 10-year little span, they've won. They've went to those 2 quarterbacks alone went to 7 Super Bowls. So that right there shows you how the AFC was. Like I said, like the outlier would be the Ravens in 2011. Be the Ravens in 2012. Yeah, 2012. 2011 was what's it called? Who in 2010? Ben Roethlisberger. Ben Roethlisberger lost to Aaron Rodgers in 2010. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers beat Ben Roethlisberger. So yeah, so you see exactly what type of group of guys in that span. So yeah, so from 2010 to 2019, like I said, you got those guys going to 7 Super Bowls, and then like I said, the outliers will be. And I said I include Ben because Ben went to 3 Super Bowls, but Ben was in the one in 2010, the one in 2012 was Joe Flacco. I'm missing a Super Bowl. I'm missing Super Bowl in that 10-year span from 10 to 19, obviously. I'm trying to think. But either way it goes, that's how the AFC's been. So even in saying that with how dominant the AFC used to be or how it normally is, you see this one right here being wide open. That's why, and that's the real reason why, to be honest, it was very extremely, in my opinion, very dangerous and scary for the rest of the NFL that the Houston Texans not only got to the playoffs, but won the damn AFC South. I used to say this a lot when we were talking about Deshaun Watson, how we was in the infancy of how good this guy could be when Bill O'Brien was basically mismanaging. That's an understatement when it comes to CJ, because this is CJ's first year. When I said it was when I was saying it was in the infancy of Deshaun Watson, we were talking about Deshaun Watson's 3rd year in the league. That's what we were talking about. We were talking about Deshaun's 3rd and 4th year in the league. This is this boy's 2nd year. This boy ain't played a full season yet because he missed 2 games. He ain't played a full 17 games. Like, that's what we talking about. So we're talking about so somebody being in their infancy is a complete understatement. Not to mention, it's in your head coach's infancy too. As a head coach, this is year one. This is year one of your head coach. This is year one of your quarterback. This is year one of your OC. This is year three of your of probably as it stands right now your number one receiver. It's in year one of your other receiver who got hurt for the hurt. This is year year two. Bernard. This is year three for probably your best player and your best player on defense right now, Bernard. Your most impactful player. This is year one of Willie Anderson. This is year two of your second best player, on defense, your star corner, and Darius Stingley Jr. This is a very, very young group that still has, get this, people, still have issues, still have glaring holes. Still have, because the really absolute known commodity was David Tunsil being a top left tackle. That even though he might give you a whole bunch of false starts and offsides and things like that, but he's a guy who you could pencil in to be a Pro Bowl player. He's a guy you could pencil in to be in the NFL's top 100. Like that, no matter what's going on, that's what you have for you. That's that one little staple guy that you had for you was your left tackle on Larry Tunsil. No matter what issues you have when it comes to run blocking and stuff like that, or giving you a whole bunch of offside penalties in crucial serious moments, it was a guy who you could sit up and be objective about and actually pencil in to be one of those guys that's a bona fide player on that end, is going to be one of your top players on the team, if not your best player on the team. Going into the season, we thought was probably the best player. So you had those type of things, but you still have a lot of glaring holes and issues and schematics and things that's going on, and they still went out there and not only make the playoffs, but win the division, and had a great chance to win on Saturday versus the Cleveland Browns, and have a great chance to go out there and make a run, a legitimate run that we ain't never seen before in this city with this franchise. Because I'm not even just talking about Super Bowl. I mean, if the Texans make the AFC South, make the AFC Championship game, everybody in Houston, we're excited. We're excited going forward if this team makes it to a conference championship game, because this franchise has never made it to a conference championship game, and this city hasn't seen a team in the football standpoint make it to a conference championship since since the 70s, since the Pittsburgh Steelers and lovely Blue Oilers in the 70s. That's the last time was when the Oilers lost to the Pittsburgh Steelers in the 70s. That a football team has made that for. Now, no, obviously, the Astros just made it to the ALCS and would make, I think, 7 straight ALCSs, have won 2 World Series, been to 4, won 2, just won 1 last year. So good that the Astros have brought the city championships and made the city relevant, and brought the city team success with the Rockets. It's in the James Harden era, has went to 2 conference championship games, 2 Western Conference Finals, because they call 5, 2 Western Conference Finals. When 2018 and then 20. What year was that? Was it 2015? I think it was 2015. I think it was 2015 with Dwight Howard and James Harden. I think when they beat the Clippers in the second round and made it to the Western Conference Finals and lost to Golden State. Yeah, it had to be, because it was when Golden State won their first title. So yeah, so it was in 2015, and then they made it again in 2018. So yeah, they made it again in 2018. So that's what we're talking about. Like that's what we're sitting up and talking about right now. We're talking about teams. We're talking about those teams playing those teams in this city playing that well, and the Texans have not seen that type of success. So we've seen the Astros extremely recent success, and we've even seen the Rockets in this last 10 years had success to make it all the way to the conference title, make it all the way to the game before the championship game, and we come to the Astros, make it to the championship game, and win the championship game a couple of times. But the Houston Texans have not. We've been to the playoffs 6 previous times before this weekend. 6 previous times, have advanced 3 times. And then only in those 3 times lost the next round. You lost to the Baltimore Ravens in 2011. You lost to the New England Patriots in 2000. I take that back, 4 times. I'm sorry, we've advanced 4 times. I'm sorry. You made, like I said, you lost to the Ravens in 2011. You lost to the Patriots in 2012. You lost to the Patriots again in 2016, and then you lost to the Chiefs the last time you've been in the playoffs in 2019. The only 2 times that you lost in the first round was when you lost to the Chiefs in 05. In 2015, you lost to the Chiefs in 2015, and you also lost to the Indianapolis Colts in 2018. Those are the only 2 times that you lost in the opening round of the playoffs. The other 4 times you made it at least to the divisional round, but you never got past the divisional round. And really, outside of the very first one, the very first one, 2011 was your best chance. Because that game against Baltimore, you was out there trying a 5th round 3rd string rookie quarterback, and you only lost by a touchdown, and your quarterback also threw 4 interceptions in that game. And you actually gave them a free touchdown when Jacoby Jones fumbles the kickoff return on the 1-yard line, and the next play the Baltimore Ravens scored a touchdown. And then the interception that the last interception of the game that T.J. Yates threw, he threw it with 31 seconds left in the end zone to Andre Johnson on either first or second down. Like they still had time. I think the Texans had 2 timeouts left. So it was a play that he shouldn't have made. He didn't have to make, but that's him being young, going up there throwing Andre Johnson because he threw in double coverage. He threw in double coverage on Andre Johnson, and Ed Reed was able to catch the interception. So if he was a more seasoned vet or have the mind processing that C.J. Stroud has, I think he would have found a way to check it down, get the first down. You still got a couple of time. You got some timeouts left. You still got some time to still put the ball in the end zone. So I feel like that was our best chance in 2012 against the New England Patriots. I think that game ended up being close, technically, not really. Then you have the game in 2015, the 2016 with Brock Osweiler game against the Patriots. I think that game actually sneakily had a good shot, but the Texans just won a good team. They had a good defense. I think they had number 1 defense in the league that year. But offensively with Brock Osweiler, he just won't do nothing. And Will Fuller dropped that catch, the wide open touchdown. Brock Osweiler, the best throw of his life, and Will Fuller drops it. And because I think with 2 plays later, Tom Brady threw the interception, we ended up getting the field goal. If Will Fuller catches that touchdown, then we still get that same interception from Tom Brady, and we kick that field goal, it's a completely different game because all that happened in the 3rd quarter. So it's a completely different game in the 4th quarter. But that's what it could have, should have. And then we all know what happened in 2019. We just all know what happened in 2019. I know from a score standpoint, we was up 24-0. It looked like we had a shot. We really didn't have a shot, y'all. We really didn't. Like if you want to be honest, because once the Chiefs started going, there was no stopping the Chiefs. Once they started going, there was just really no stopping. You just outmatched and outnumbered. Like, because if you look at what if you think about what Deshaun did in that game, Deshaun Watson had over 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a rushing touchdown, no turnovers, and you still lost by 20 points. And you still lost by 20 points. So you just could not stop them offensively. It's just like, I can't stop y'all from coming in, but the lights ain't going up. Come on, y'all gotta hit the light button. I see more people that jump in, but the lights ain't going up. Make sure you hit that light button, man. Make sure you hitting that light button when y'all come in here now. Make sure you hit that light button. But all in all, like I say, I feel like this is the Texans' real shot. Best shot in a long time. I feel like it's their best shot since 2011. Me personally, I still think that the 2011 team is still the best team in franchise history. For a whole bunch of different factors. Now, I do think that this team obviously has the best quarterback. But I do think outside of that, if you match player for player, position by position, I think that the 2011 team is actually way more better than y'all actually give it credit. We just lose sight of it because of what happened with the quarterback play. But even with that quarterback play that you had down the stretch, how good that team. Not to mention that your head coach now was on that team as a player. So so you think about what the advice he's giving players now as a coach. You know, I know he's learned some things from being in San Francisco and being in Philadelphia. I mean, he was doing that same thing in Houston because that was the last time he's put on his jersey was that season. So I still feel like the 2011 team is still the best team. And again, I felt real good. I felt real good after that 2011 season about the future of the Texans and what the Texans do. And we still had. I mean, it was the beginning of something that was decent. It just fell off the tracks real quickly with Schaub. But then even when you start putting in mediocre quarterback play like Ryan Fitzpatrick and Brian Hoyer and what's his name, Brock Osweiler, the team still had somewhat success. Well, a lot of the same guys. I mean, maybe by the time you got to Brock Osweiler, the cast was a little bit different, but that 2012, 13, and 14 team was pretty much a lot of the same faces that was in that 2011 team. But the thing is differently is like now this time these guys are all young. These guys are all young, and most importantly, the guy who's the youngest is your quarterback. I mean, when we went to the playoffs in 2011, when Andre was almost 10 years in at that point in time. Like, Nico's only in year 3. Nico's only in year 3. Tank is only in year 1. Now, no, neither one of them is him. Is Andre Johnson. But, like, no, these guys are not in a great best. Like, they're not in their prime years. Like Dwayne Brown. Dwayne Brown probably is around the same level as far as timing as Larry Tunsil. Maybe Larry Tunsil is a little bit older, or like I think they probably were close a little bit the same in age. I do think that offensive line is better, but I mean, when it comes to your defensive players, I mean, I know your best defensive player is was JJ, but JJ actually wasn't the best player on their team back in 2011. He's probably like the 4th best player on defense, if not 5th best player on defense in 2011, his rookie year. But like the rest of the guys are young, like Jonathan Gennard and Willie Anderson. Like, cause Willie Anderson is playing at a level better than J.J. Watt was playing in 2011 in his rookie year. But also Willie Anderson actually do like Willie Anderson is at the very least the second or third best player on this defense right now. And like I said, JJ at best was the 5th best player in the 2011 defense. So yeah, JJ's a better player, but Willie Anderson's a better player at his juncture. Willie Anderson now is better than the player, is the better rookie than JJ was, but JJ also wasn't asked to do that much. And then JJ did make the splash moment. So can we see a Willie Anderson, JJ Watt type moment? Like what if in the same junction? Because Willie Anderson has not scored this season, and he's had some opportunities. Him and Desmond King. They took scores off the board for him and Desmond King. Desmond King scored twice, and they took it off the board. So and Will Anderson's made some plays too that they've taken off the board as well. And Will Anderson's made some very, very impactful plays this season that JJ didn't make in his rookie season up until that playoff game when he made that pick 6 against the Bengals. So could we get another moment like that? But I do believe, like I said, I feel like that this is the Houston Texans' best chance and best opportunity to make a legitimate run as it's been in recent memory. And the thing is, it's just the beginning, because I feel like next year and the years after it's going to grow, but I don't want to put the cart in front of the horse. That's it, right? The cart in front of the horse. I don't want to put the cart in front of the horse because we have all this is in front of us right now. And the Texans can realistically, legitimately go on a deep playoff run this year and for a run for years to come. And that's what's so scary to the rest of the NFL. That's what's so scary and crazy and dangerous for the rest of the NFL. That's the reason why Wink said that on the sauce. And shout out to my boy Honcho and everybody, the whole round table on sauce. I know y'all checked it out earlier with him and Wink and Hector. Shout out to my boy Tenny. Shout out to my boy Wise. Shout out to my boy Ray Ray. Oh man, I got something to tell y'all about Ray Ray too. Remember, shout out to all my boys out there in Soft Sports, man, and the whole round table. We know how we doing. You know, there's a lot of people out there talking a lot of stuff, but you already know what it is. The round table is still the round table. You already know. But a lot of people out here saying other things, but it is what it is. But I say all that to say this. Like Winkle said earlier, like Jacksonville, like he was saying, it's references to the Jacksonville versus the Titans game, that the Jags better win that game, because if the Jags don't win that game and don't win the division and let the Houston Texans win the division, it's over for them. And then you see what the Titans just did by firing Vrabel. Like again, they have given this division to the Houston Texans and the Indianapolis Colts. Like I said in my last video, that the AFC South belongs in either Houston Texans or Indianapolis. That's it. The other guys, we've let y'all borrow the titles. I'm just being honest. I'm not even saying this to talk trash. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm being serious. When you look at the AFC South, since its inception in 2002, because when the Houston Texans came to the NFL in 2002, there was 32 teams. That's when they did conference realignment, and they made the divisions where every division has every conference has four divisions. Every conference has 4 divisions, and all 4 divisions had 4 teams, because it was an even 32 number, and that's what they did. And they created the AFC South, because before then, the Titans and the Jags was in the AFC Central. I don't remember if the Colts were in the AFC Central, but I know the Titans and the Jags were. And I think back then you could have a home playoff game without winning your division, because the year the Titans won the Super Bowl, the Jags won the AFC Central, and the Titans hosted a playoff game, because that's the whole year of the Music City Miracle. It was in Nashville when the Titans beat the Buffalo Bills, and then the Titans beat Jacksonville in Jacksonville and beat Jacksonville in the AFC Championship game. But anyway, that's a whole conversation for another day. But since 2002, because the Titans won the first one. The Titans won the original AFC South. And then after that, the Indianapolis Colts won the rest of the titles up until 2008, and the Titans won their second one. The Colts won a couple more, and then here comes 2011. And from 2011 until now, the Houston Texans have won 7 division titles. From 2011 to 2023, the Houston Texans have won 7 division titles. Well, that's 12 years. In 12 years, the Houston Texans have won 7 titles. The Indianapolis Colts have only won 2 in that span. They won in 13 and 14. That was it in that span. 13, 14. The Jacksonville Jaguars, another team, only won 2 in this whole time. 2017, last year, 2022. The Tennessee Titans, they've only won 2 in that span. 2020, 2021. That's it. And that's from 2011 to 2023, the Houston Texans have won 7 division titles. The Colts, the Jags, and the Titans have won 2 apiece in that span. They've won 2 apiece, while the Texans have won 7. Now, I know all the jokes are coming up, but if y'all done with all the division titles, granted, that's the reason why you got a lot of people out here saying that we need to get to, especially during the Bill O'Brien era, that we like how Dak said the other day, we ain't wearing I don't want no division championship shirt and no division championship hat, because he's done that, been there. So that's why a lot of Houston Texans fans felt that way, especially about especially about the Bill O'Brien era. This one feels a little bit different because this one feels like the first one in 2011. 2011 we all hyped and we crunk about it. 2012 the same thing. Then after that, I think then that's when we started. Now again, I think with 2015 we were happy we won the division. We back in the division. Then when we got the next one, okay, we didn't been there, done that. That's not fresh and new no more. We want bigger and better things. This one a little bit different because you got a new head coach. You got a new offensive coordinator, new quarterback, new general manager, new everything. Everything brand new. Everything brand new. Everything different, everything new. So it's a little bit fresh. So people going out there buying AFC South hats and AFC South shirts and stuff like that, I ain't blaming you. Do your thug thistle. I'm not tripping. Hey, do your thug thistle. Do it. Because I understand this is new, this is fresh. Now, but we can't be 2, 3, 4, because even next year too. But we can't be in 2027 and still hyped and happy about a division title when we ain't made past the division round yet. We can't be doing that. So this year, yeah, I get you. Even next year, I'll be cool with you next year. But if we keep doing that another 3-4 years, we will put ourselves back at the level where we need to win more. We not just happy with division titles. Like I know that people won't bring up what Kobe said about the Lakers, even though the Lakers are a team that just hung a banner for a tournament, in-season tournament that the NBA players didn't even understand the rules of. That's a conversation for another day. But the Texans ain't the Lakers. Like we not the Lakers. See, like the Patriots can say stuff like that. The Pittsburgh Steelers can say stuff like that. The Chiefs right now can say stuff like that. The Dallas Cowboys can say stuff like that. The Texans can't say nothing like that. And if you want to say stuff like that, you can, because you're grown, I'm assuming. I'm gonna just be honest with you. I think your logic is flawed because the Houston Texans can't have Los Angeles Lakers fan base taste. Now some Houston Texans might be like Los Angeles, might be LA Laker fans. Y'all might be Laker fans, and that's cool if you are Laker fans. But you can't have your same fandom with the Lakers as far as like your smugness and you sticking up your nose and sticking up your chest. Like championships or bust when the team ain't never made it past the divisional round. So you gotta have different expectations when it comes to this team right here. Like this team right here, you gotta have different expectations to. Like you can't have the same expectations when it comes to this franchise right here. You can't. You can't. You gotta have different expectations when it comes to that franchise. You can't have the same taste and same level that you have for if you are for the Lakers and for the Patriots and the Steelers and the Cowboys and the 49ers and the Eagles as it stands right now and the Boston Celtics and things like that. They got different taste buds. They got different taste buds. They got different taste buds. So I can't put myself in that standpoint yet. So again, like I said, anybody who does buy the merch, go ahead, do it. And that's the thing. CJ Stroud has gotten people excited again. Cause I was gonna say about shout out to my boy Ray Ray. Ray Ray is genuinely excited about the Houston Texans going to the playoffs. I ain't heard Ray Ray be this excited since. To be honest, I might not have ever heard him be this excited. I know he wasn't extremely excited for the Texans versus the Bills playoff game, but he was feeling good, like as far as like he felt that the Texans could win the game. He actually picked the Texans to win the game, but he wasn't like very, very excited. Again, I didn't know Ray Ray back in 2011, so I'm assuming this is how he felt in 2011, the first time Texans made the playoffs, and in 2012 when the Texans was 11-1 and stuff like that. So I'm assuming that's how he felt way back then. Because this is the first time I've ever heard him talk the way he's been talking. He's genuinely excited. I know people who are very just Debbie Downers when it comes to the Houston Texans and everything. The sky's falling and this and that, and they ain't gonna do this and they gonna fall flat on their face and doing all these type of things like that. They didn't message me message me, they confirmation, hey man, hey bro, I just bought the AFC South hat. I just bought the AFC South. I bought 3 or 4 AFC South shirts, and all of them. The one that got the lock on it, the other one, the hoodie, all types. Like they just dropped some bread on some merch when it comes to Houston Texans going to the AFC, winning the AFC South. I've never seen these people that say that's something that we don't talk about when we talk about CJ Stroud. We talk about all the numbers and stuff like that. CJ really has the city and his fan base genuinely back excited again. And that's why I say this time go around, it's a little bit different. It's a little bit fresh. It's a little bit new. And I'm cool with it. For everybody who feels the way they feel going forward, I understand it. I'm cool with it. I get it. I agree with how you feel. I agree with how you feel because I'm excited. I'm genuinely excited about this game on Sunday. I'm genuinely excited about this playoff opportunity. Saturday. I'm sorry. I'm genuinely excited about the game on Saturday and this playoff opportunity and this team, this franchise going forward. And it's really it's not even all projection. It's all, man, I think these boys can really do it. And I'm not talking about if it ends, like literally. I've seen them play a couple times this season in person. This product that I've seen on the field is actually a good product. I was kind of upset with them the first game against the Colts, especially the first half. But the game against Jacksonville, even though they lost, they played extremely, especially from CJ's standpoint, played extremely well. And against the Titans, they just made them. They made them tap out. They made them tap out. So I'm genuinely impressed. Like I said, bro, like when you look at this, like I said, when you look at this division, man, back to what I said that Wink was saying. When you look at this division, it belongs to the Texans and the Colts. Like I said, even though in the last 13 years, the Colts have only won the division twice. But previously, what they've done, they still the number one team in as far as have as many division titles. The Texans, like in 3 years, like took that because by the time the Texans won their third division title, the Jags had none, and the Titans only had 2002 and 2008. That was it because they didn't win. They didn't win their third and fourth one into 2020 and 2021. By the time Texans already had 6. So now I don't know exactly how many the Colts have. I know the Texans got 7, the Titans got 4, and the Jags have 2. And again, like I said, the Jags have only won the division when the Texans and the Colts are bad. They were bad. Both the Texans and the Colts was bad in 2017. Remember, Deshaun only played a couple games. Andrew Luck didn't play all that season. And that's the Jags won their first division title. And then last year, Texans and the Colts were battling for the number one spot, number one pick at the end of the game, at the end of the season, and the Jags won the division again. That's it. I mean, the Titans. I mean, you can kind of say the same thing about the Titans, but the Titans have. I mean, the first 2 times they won the division back in 2002, 2008, they won the division when Peyton Manning was out there playing. Like, so I can't say that about them. Like the Titans have won the division. They have won the division one when Peyton Manning was playing, and then they also won the division again in 2021 when the Colts made the playoffs. The Colts made the playoffs in 2021. So they won the division, and then the following year they were the number 1 seed. In 2020 and 2021. 2020, 2020, that's when the Colts made the playoffs. So they made the playoffs in 2020, and then in 2021, the Titans had the best record in the AFC and had the number 1 seed. So even though I know the Jags in 2017 did make it to the Jags in 2017 did, to be fair, did make it to an AFC championship game, and also in the AFC championship game should have won the AFC championship game against the Patriots. But the Titans made it to the AFC Championship game in 2019. The Jags have only made it to the playoffs twice in that span. The Jags have had 2 playoff appearances since 2011. Now, both times they won division. They've only made playoffs twice since 2011. My business, I'm trying to think that other time, I know the time before that they made the playoffs was with David Garrard, and that was like in what was that when David Garrard beat the Steelers in the playoffs? When was that? Like 2006 or something like that? Like 2006, 2007, something like that. So it's been a while. It's been a while. So like so you got 2017, you got 2017, and you got last year. Now both times, granted, they did win playoff games, but that's really pretty much it. Because at least the Titans made the playoffs in 20. The Titans made the playoffs in 2017 too. Titans made playoffs in 2019, 20, and 21. The Colts, same thing. Colts won the division in 2013, 2014, and then also made the playoffs again in 2018, and in 20. So the Colts, Titans, and Texans have been. Now again, the Texans have only been to the playoffs by winning the division. The Texans have never been to the playoffs as a wild card. The Texans have been to the playoffs a couple times, while a division opponent of theirs has been to the playoffs. One time they've lost to the Colts in the playoffs. So lost to the Colts in the playoffs. So again, like I said, it's the Texans and the Titans. It's the Texans and the Colts division, especially with AR. And like I said, especially when AR comes back. Especially the fact that the Titans had fired Vrabel, which I think was stupid and foolish, but it is what it is. That's what they decided to do. It is what it is. I still believe that's foolish, but hey, they grown. They do what they want to do over there. I still feel like I feel like the Texans. Just sidebar, I feel like the Texans really got Vrabel fired because I believe that Vrabel was the one pushing out that whole S2 score thing with CJ. He's an Ohio State guy. They were he's an Ohio State guy. They subscribe to the ST2 score test. They subscribe to that, and I feel like he was doing that, trying to push and scare people from drafting C.J. Stroud, because I mean there's a documentary on Roku TV when they go behind the draft, and after the Texans draft C.J. Stroud, the Arizona Cardinals are calling teams, and 2 of the teams that they called was the Colts and the Titans. When they talked to the Titans, they asked the Titans, "Do y'all still want to trade?" And the Titans said, "No, we're out now." And then they called the Colts and asked the Colts if they want to trade. The Colts said, "No, we good. We'll stay back." But they said, "Now we're out now." They said, "No, we're out now." So that tells me there was a deal on the table, but they were waiting to see what the Texans were doing, because all those rumors and stuff. The Texans draft Williams saying they're gonna pass on the quarterback, stuff like that. And I think that's what they were thinking. And once the Houston Texans drafted C.J. Stroud, we out, because the person who we were gonna jump up to go get ain't there no more. So we ain't gonna do that. We not gonna jump up. We're not about to jump up to get AR, because maybe they don't feel. I mean, maybe they feel like AR is like a Marcus Mariota or a Vince Young. I don't know, but they obviously wasn't gonna go out there and get AR. And I feel like they felt desperate to go get Will Levis. And Will Levis might end up turning out well for them, honestly. If they able to manage it right, but to me, I think they already got a bad start by letting go of Vrabel, unless they get some type of offensive genius to go over there. But that's a conversation for another day. It was 2008. That was the last time the Jags made the playoffs in 2008. Cause I know it was one season where the Texans was the only team in the AFC South that wasn't over 500. Every team in the AFC South was 500 or better. And Texans was the only team that was at 500. We was 8-8. So we were our 2 8-8 seasons was 2008 and 2007. Because 2009 was our first winning season. Titans getting Bill Belichick. Okay, okay, it's not gonna work out well for me. What if the Titans get Bill O'Brien? Oh man, what if the Titans get Bill O'Brien? My bad. I've been talking the whole time. I ain't even reading the comments. My fault, y'all. Flacco gonna have. Hey, you think Flacco gonna have a bad game? I mean, Flacco threw 2 picks against us. We just weren't able to capitalize on it. 2 weeks ago. Trevor Lawrence is like. Actually, I think James is better than Trevor Lawrence. Honestly, I think because at least he could throw 5,000 yards and get 30 touchdowns. Like Trevor. Like I said, what's good, Michael? Like I said, I've never been high on Trevor Lawrence. I ain't never been high on Trevor Lawrence. Never. I ain't never been high on Trevor Lawrence. Never. I ain't never been high on Trevor Lawrence. This whole generational talent, I don't get it. I didn't get it. Like I never got why. Like I think it's very dangerous. I think it's very dangerous when you go out there. You say that somebody is the best quarterback prospect since John Elway, Andrew Luck. I felt the same way about Andrew Luck. Like I didn't think that Andrew Luck was the best quarterback prospect since John Elway, but I sure didn't feel that way about Trevor Lawrence. Like honestly, I didn't feel that way about Trevor Lawrence. Like his mechanics was too funky to me, and he just I don't know. He just doesn't seem like a generational talent. And I've seen him play a couple times in person. He just doesn't seem like a generational talent to me. He just doesn't. He just doesn't. And it's scary because, like I said, I believe it's very scary for the rest of the NFL. I believe that. I believe the rest of the NFL is scared when they see what's about to start happening in Houston. Because like I said, we're in the infancy of success. The infancy of success. And it's only going to go up from here. It is. Because we got a quarterback on this rookie deal. Like, I know we were feeling good coming off Deshaun's rookie year, but we didn't get to see it play out. So who knows? We'll never know. We'll never know if Deshaun would hit some type of rookie wall or some type of thing, because Deshaun was turning football over. And also Deshaun had weapons. Like Deshaun had a bona fide receiver number 1 receiver in Hopkins, who you have to question. We weren't having questions every other week. Is Nico Collins the number 1 receiver? Is DeAndre Hopkins number? We weren't having it about DeAndre Hopkins. And your number 2 receiver Will Fuller can stay healthy, but you had a legitimate deep threat guy who could outrun almost anybody in Fuller. Like you had weapons. You had weapons. Now he was out there playing hero ball because defense was giving up hopeless points, but you had weapons. So and not weapons that he had to elevate, because CJ's elevated Nico Collins. CJ's elevating Noah Brown. CJ's elevating Dalton Schultz. Like CJ's elevating, Dalton Schultz showed some things, and I think he's the best receiver, best tight end on the Dallas Cowboys team last year, but Dallas was eager to let him go. But CJ is elevating these guys. He's elevating Bobby Slowick as an OC. He's elevating these guys. He's making these guys look better than what we've seen in previous stops and tenures and junctures of their careers and things like that. So to add more, because you're gonna add more. Draft, free agency, you're gonna add more. And they doing this already? This is what they doing, how they looking already? Come on, man. Come on. That's dangerous. That's dangerous. It's dangerous. That's dangerous. That's scary. That's real scary. Hey, man, appreciate everybody that came through here. Definitely appreciate y'all. The love you. You ain't hit the like button already, man. Make sure you hit that like button. Very, very key. Very, very vital to the stream. Let you know every time I go live, every time I drop a video. Got a video coming. Because a lot of people been talking about, a lot of people been asking me about, a certain somebody getting some recent attention. And is that good for us? Is it bad for us? Is it good for him? Bad for him? So y'all be on the lookout for that video dropping. Also, you already know I'm going to do a preview. I didn't give you my Texans Brown prediction. Didn't do it because I'm holding that. Because I am going to do a live stream on Friday previewing the game, and I want to give you the reason why I came up with my score prediction. Why I feel like it's going to be what it is. Might be upset, might be, I understand it, but I want to give reasoning to it. I don't want to just say just a flat score. Plus, I want to talk about more so the rest of the playoffs because I will be breaking down the playoff in its entirety. I don't know if I'm gonna go live on Sunday. I'm definitely gonna go live on Monday after the Rams and after the Eagle and Tampa Bay game. Once the first round's completely over, I do want to I want to talk about that. So we'll see. I might end up going live after the Green Bay Detroit game, depending on how that game go. I might end up going live if it's an interesting game afterwards. I might go live and talk about it. So I definitely will. You already know I'm going live on Friday, breaking down and previewing the Texans and Cleveland Browns game. You already know I'm going live after the game. So immediately after the Texans and the Browns game, make sure you pull up because I'm going live immediately after. So you already know how I go down, how I shake. You already know we're going to pull up, drink, take shots, drink, pull up, drink. You already know what we're going to do. So man, get your popcorn ready. Get your popcorn ready. Get your hot wings, your lemon pepper steppers, your pizzas, whatever it is your playoff football food, your nachos, your sandwiches, wherever your playoff football food is. Make sure you get that ready, and also get ready to pull up your drink. If you got a Stanley Cup, pull up in the Stanley Cup. I know that everybody going crazy over the Stanley Cup. You got the Stanley Cup, pull up and pull up with the Stanley Cup. We're going to pull up, drink, take shot, drink, sit down, drink. We gonna pull up and pull up. But make sure y'all pull up, like I said, immediately after the game on Saturday and get a live instant breakdown reaction. Like I said, shout out to my boy Honcho, everybody there at South Sports. Go live every day at 7 o'clock. So make sure you check him out. He should be going live again tomorrow. And I think he's going to do a pregame show. I'm not 100% sure, but I feel like he's going to do a pregame show. I'm not 100% sure, but I feel like he's going to do a pregame show. So make sure y'all be on the lookout for that. Like I said, make sure y'all be on the lookout for my pre-recorded videos that's coming, that's about to drop. So make sure y'all pull up and be on the lookout for that. And like I said, make sure y'all pull up and be there Friday. Preview Houston Texans versus the Cleveland Browns. Score prediction and breakdown and preview of what's about to happen. And then immediately after the game, pull up again right here on the channel and check out exactly what happened after the game. I'm going to break it down and recap exactly what happened and if the Texans are going on or what it is and what it ain't. So make sure y'all pull up. Like I said, make sure you hit that like button if you ain't hit the like button already. Like I said, still in the race to get the 6,000 subscribers. You know what that means? I need you to tell a friend, to tell a friend, tell another friend, tell another friend, tell some more friends so they can tell some friends and put them on Game of the Channel. Still in the race to get 6,000 subscribers. You know what that means? I need you to like, share, and subscribe. And also, I'm going to have a giveaway. I'm going to probably give away maybe next week. So, y'all be on the lookout for that. Make sure y'all stay tuned to all the videos and the lives because I'll be dropping little hints in what you need to do to qualify for the giveaway. So I'm going to be doing the giveaway pretty soon. I don't know exactly what day. It's going to probably be sometime next week or something like that. So make sure y'all be on the lookout for that. Like I said, hit the like button if you ain't already. Like, share, subscribe, comment below, click that bell, get more videos. I'll holla.